All right, who wants to try the first one? It is 2. 10, because you're in your head, you're thinking 10 to what power gives you 100? 2. Okay, and if you want to write this next to here, that's why. I am only writing that just to kind of confirm. You do not have to write that, but I like to write that down. Like if you're at home tonight and you're like, what? How's it a 2? Then I write that. Oh yeah, it's the power. It's just the power. All right. 5th root. How do you write the 5th root? What power is that? 1 over 5. Do you remember when we started power, some of you were confused by that, and I said, if you're confused by that, that's going to hurt you when you do logarithms. You got to commit that to memory, that radicals are really fraction powers. How about 1 over 1,000? -3, good, because 10 to the 3rd is 1,000, right? 1 over means I'll write that. And then this one you just got to kind of memorize. If you see 10 to a log, they really just undo each other. So what you get back is the 6. Because there's inverses. Okay. Okay, and again, now I don't want you to use your calculators, but today to check your answer, for sure do it. Because these ones with, you know, if you wanted to type it in, oh yeah, -3, that's what I got. Woohoo. Okay. How are we doing? Let's talk about, before I finish up with natural log, what if I wrote something, let's keep in mind here, my original statement was this. If I said y equals log base b of x, the exponential form was what? What's the base? B. What's the power? To the y equals x. What I can have you do then is rewrite some other things using that. Okay? If I said to you, hey, can you figure out what x is? I just want you to write it in exponential form to do that. Let's rearrange it now. What's the base? 10. What's the power? Where do you find the power? On the other side, right? 10 to the 5th. Oh, cool. I can do that. What is 10 to the 5th? Okay, not that big. 100,000. Okay. I could also do this with another base. If you see log base 2 of x equals 6, and I'm like, what? How do I? Okay, then we go really slow. We say, what's the base? 2. We find the power on the other side to the 6 equals x. I know you don't know 2 to the 6 in your head. Well, maybe you do. One more, 64. Okay. And so that's how you rewrite when you're trying to find the unknown over here. Okay. So, do you, and your calculator, do you see the thing below the log? Yep, it's not an IN, it's an LN. It's an LN, and it stands for natural log. That's the last one we're going to do today. Logarithm natural. I don't know. Because maybe because all of the logs start with an L. So, all right, let's test our memories. So the natural logarithm is what base? Base of e, and sometimes people just flip out about natural logarithms. Okay, all I want you to know is about what e is. E is something called Euler's number. It is the second probably most common irrational number. The first most common is pi. So e is actually, it comes from, when you do exponential growth, you know that PERT formula? P-E-R-T, remember, kind of sort of remember that? The reason the e is in there is because you basically take a compound interest and you start putting the, like, compounding it for more and more and more times a year. And basically, as that number gets bigger, you notice it starts to get close to 2.72-ish, so the limit of it is 2. So it's like a limit kind of deal. But it's, let's see what e is. E to the first power. Okay? So for our purposes, let's in our heads just kind of know that e is about 2.7. Okay? The only ones I would ask you to do would be things in terms of e. So y equals ln of x, the way I would write it in exponential form is e to the y equals x. And so what's the natural log of 1 then? Oh, it's just 0. Same thing. Why? Because it doesn't matter that it's e. Isn't e to the 0 1? Okay. What's the natural log of e? 1. Why? Because e to the first is e. How about the natural log of e to the y? What's that? Why? Because e to the y equals e to the y. And then here's that one that's the inverse of it. If I did e to the natural log of x, that's just going to be x. The e. E is a number. Okay, it's 2.7. Yep. All right. So if I say, hey, what's the natural log of 5? We don't, it's not in terms of e, you have to use your calculator. But if I say, what's the natural log of e to the 7th, what would it be? 7. Or if I said, hey, what's the natural log of the square root of e, what would you say? A half. Okay, but unless you see e in there somewhere, you're going to have to use your calculator to evaluate it. Okay, you guys ready to do some practice? Do you have questions so far?